It's the middle of winter, and who doesn't love an easy, delicious soup recipe? Today, I want to share a new one with you. It is cold and snowy outside, a perfect day for an easy, delicious, hot soup recipe. My sister just shared this recipe with me. She got it from Cooking Light, so it's not one of our originals, but that doesn't mean it's not a favorite. So we want to share it with all of you. This is a warm chicken lemon orzo soup recipe. So let's get started. Okay, so we've got our big Dutch oven here that we're gonna go ahead and get our heat going on. And we're gonna put in our olive oil and let that start heating up. I've got my beautiful ingredients over here ready to go. I already got them all ready to go. So like I said, my sister, Jenny, she was just talking about this soup, and she talked about it again the last time we were hanging out with them, and she's like, I just happen to have some. So she had come over and heated it up and let me try it. And I was like, this is really good. We're gonna make this. And I love, you know, easy recipes where I don't have to come up with 100 ingredients that I don't have in the house. I like those stockpile cooking recipes where all I have to do is go down to my root cellar, to my freezer, to my fridge, and just have everything ready to go. And this is one of those recipes. And if you don't have orzo, that's okay. Use whatever you have. You can use rice, you can use pasta, whatever you have. Improvise. Feel free to improvise. Okay, so we're getting our oil heated up because we're gonna saute our chopped carrots and our onions. All right, our carrots are gonna take longer than our onions, so we're gonna start with the carrots. You're just sweating your vegetables. It brings out beautiful color and flavor before you actually throw it all into a soup. You could skip this step, but it really does make it beautiful and bright and delicious. So we've got our cubed carrots, and we're gonna let those go for a little bit before we add the onions in. Okay, we've had our carrots in there for a little while, and I'm gonna add in our chopped onions. And this is where the house is about to smell amazing. It's like I don't like chopping onions, because obviously my eyes don't like them, but I do love the smell of onions in all the recipes that we use. I'm gonna keep this heat going pretty hot while I'm doing this part. The smell is so good. You guys know that beautiful, those veggies just sauteing up. They smell so good. Okay, we're gonna add in our garlic, our minced garlic. You can use fresh garlic, just chop it up real small if you have fresh. All right. And I'm also going to add in our crushed red pepper right now as well, because this is enough crushed red pepper to give a good depth of flavor but not make the soup spicy, okay? You can omit this altogether, but I like it. So even if you just add a little bit in this whole pot, it's going to just really bring all the flavors to life. And you know, someone's not gonna be able to say, oh, there's pepper in that. No, it's really good. All right, we're gonna put in our crushed red pepper to bring out all the flavor of that in this step. Our veggies are nice and softened. It only took like 3 or 4 minutes, and now we're gonna add in our chicken broth. And I have some actually that we're still using up from last year, so we're gonna use our 2021 chicken broth and a little bit of our 2022 chicken broth. We raise our own, you know, pasture-raised chicken here on our farm, and then after we process our birds, we also make some delicious chicken broth, chicken stock as well. So we need 6 cups of broth, okay? So I need more than just one of my quarts here, so. All right, there's one, which is 4 cups. Okay, we'll keep this. The one of the things I love about soup is that you can add more broth if you want. You know, if you're feeding a lot of people and you need to stretch your meal, you can add extra broth. So we're gonna keep that and maybe add it at the end. We'll see, we're gonna taste it. All right, let's let this get nice and hot and all the flavors to come together. Okay, we just added our chicken stock into our Dutch oven. We wanna bring the stock and the crushed red pepper, the carrots and the onion and everything all up to a nice boil. But while I'm waiting for that to boil, I'm gonna do this step, okay? So I need to add 3 large eggs to a bowl. I need the bowl to be larger because we actually have to temper these eggs before we put it into our soup. So let's add in these 3 eggs. Okay, I'm gonna whisk these 3 eggs and I'm gonna need my lemon juice, but I'm gonna whisk these up first. Okay, now I'm gonna add in my 100% lemon juice into my eggs. If you have fresh lemons, that's great. That'll make it really bright and good flavor. But I've got my lemon juice here, which I'm going to whisk in. Okay. And I'm gonna make this a little frothy. This is just combining my 3 large eggs and my lemon juice. If you are using fresh lemons, make sure you keep those seeds out of your mixture here. All right. There we go. You see how it's frothing? Got a nice froth on top. Okay, and we're gonna set that aside. Okay, so our broth has come to a boil, so now I need to do the process of tempering that egg and lemon frothy mixture. So I'm gonna take 1 cup or so, this is not exact numbers, but 1 cup of broth over here. If you get some onions in it, it's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna take about a cup of broth or so, I can always come back. And I'm gonna take this over to my egg and lemon mixture and very carefully temper this by adding a little bit of hot liquid, because you don't want to cook your eggs, right? So a little bit at a time, and then combine this and whisk this and bring the temperature of the eggs up slowly so that I do not get scrambled eggs in my soup, because that's not what kind of soup this is. So let's get this combined. Okay, this is looking really good. No scrambled eggs. That means we went slow enough and added enough liquid here. All right. Okay, so this is looking good. Now we're gonna add this over. I have reduced the heat on the soup to more of like a simmer temperature, and we're gonna slowly add this into our broth. And what this does is it almost creates like a creamy soup without adding any cream, you know, gives it a great color and a great flavor. Okay, got all of that in. Now we just get to add the rest of the ingredients here. I'm gonna go ahead and put in a ½ cup of Orzo, and that will continue to cook, you know, as the soup cooks. I like Orzo. We'll put in a little extra. Okay, so that's coming together. And now we get to add in the rest of our ingredients. So we're gonna add in our chicken, our salt, our pepper, our dill, and our spinach. Last, save your spinach for last. Okay. We're gonna add in our shredded chicken. Like I said earlier, we raise our own pasture-raised chickens here, and we process them. The whole family helps, and then we put up a year's supply of chicken every year so that we just have it available. And besides freezing the whole chickens, which is something that we do, we also can up shredded chicken to use for recipes like this. And I'll tell you what, I am so thankful to have this delicious chicken available for all sorts of meals that we use throughout the entire year. And this is such an easy soup recipe to use this chicken in. So I can pull it out of a can. If you don't have that available to you, you can use a rotisserie chicken. You can roast your own chicken at home and then shred it. So there's lots of different options. All right, I'm gonna add in my Redmond's real salt, which is what we prefer to use. We're gonna add in our pepper. Okay, get that stirred in. And we're gonna add in our dill. You can use fresh dill if you have that, but I have dried dill. So I'm gonna add it all in except for a little bit, which we'll use as a garnish at the end. Okay, so last but not least, we're gonna add in our fresh spinach. This really, you wanna wait till your soup is completely cooked. Our orzo's cooked. Like my chicken was already pre-cooked and shredded in there. And this is the last thing you wanna put in because you're really just wilting it very quickly and then serving it. So I don't wanna let it sit in here and boil and get mushy. I want it to be beautiful and a great color and a beautiful addition to the soup. So let's add this in. I chopped it up, but I don't like it super fine chopped, so I did kind of a rough chop. All right, so this is a perfect soup on those cold days when you just want something easy with all these beautiful ingredients. And if there's something that you don't have, just improvise. It's no big deal. If you don't have spinach, but you do have broccoli, just do broccoli instead. You can make this soup into whatever you want, and it's just so creamy. The tempered eggs and lemon just give it such a nice creaminess, and that, like I said, the pop of lemon is beautiful. So I hope you guys try this out. Let me know how your family enjoys it. I was so glad my sister shared this recipe with me. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you soon.